6 promptly.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to, I'll be back in here.
We'll go back.
Be quiet.
All right.
But if you what?
I haven't seen Ryan is out.
Okay, which is.
Ryan's not online, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Ryan online?
Negative.
Okay.
Is there anyone online?
Lisa. Okay. Oops, sorry.
Oh, Carla.
All right, good evening. Let's start. I'd like to call to order the Thursday, July 17th, committee of the whole meeting for finance at 6:04 PM. Sorry for the brief delay there. We'll start with a roll call. Carl Johnson here. Ryan Curry. Schneider.
Here.
Here. Dave Wiltsey.
Here.
Josh Shoemaker.
Here.
Tom Wahlberg.
Here.
Dana Logston. Matt Regano.
Here.
Rodney Riley.
Here, sir.
Here.
All right, I'd ask for a motion to allow Elisa Patterson to join electronically.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Matt Regano, seconded by Brian Schneider. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no minutes to approve. I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Motion by Mr. Regano, seconded by Mr. Thornberry. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment. I don't see anybody here to make public comment. I have no slips. So, Mr. Wahlberg, your meeting, sir.
Oh, well, thank you, Chairman.
Oh, boy.
How about that? Record time.
Great. All right, 6.1, do we have presentations from the treasury report? What am I looking at?
It's on vacation.
Here.
He did provide a memo.
No presentation, nobody wants to fill in for. All right, let's move on. 6.2, administration monthly financial report.
Provided 2 reports for you. One is the standard report that you're used to seeing. That compares last year's revenues and expenditures to years. As I've said before, even though the year-to-date change, especially on the revenues, is less than last year, we're right on track as far as budget goes. And you can tell that from, actually, we're higher than budget. If you go on to page 2, you can see we're trending. Our countywide sales tax, 5% above budget. Our county sales tax is 25% above budget. Public safety tax is up, so we're in a good position as far as those go. Expenditures, about the same thing, about 2% over last year at this time, which is typical. And your ARPA, as I've mentioned before, our only thing we're spending right now is the McKinley project and the courthouse renovations. So we have now spent about 61% of the ARPA funds.
61.
61%, right? Our balance is just over 4 million with about another 665 in interest.
What's our drop date on that next year, right?
Date on that, we have through 2026 to spend it, but it'll be spent by the end of this year. Bills are coming in faster now. Projects. So. The other report is the report out of Tyler. Your budget was spent and then the percent remaining. So as far as expenses go, we're 7 months in, so you really want to see everything 42% or higher, which would mean we're trending at or better than budget. Any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Tobin?
I just wanted to add that I think the treasurer's report indicated we're on scale for $900,000 worth of interest this year, which is the best ever. I recall.
It was high last year. I feel like, yeah, this year it might be a little bit higher. Mhm.
Yes, and with that, Mr. Wilsey, thank you for the record. I did want to mention, or I should have mentioned, that there is a summary of the financial activities for the month, as well as some numbers in the board docs. Thank you for calling that out.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything further for Ms. Tobin? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to new business. 7.1. This is for discussion only. We've got the Health Department Administrative Campus Change Order Deductions. So we want to have
Deduction.
Andy, you want to, what's that?
Deductions.
Yes, deductions, I did.
Okay.
You did,
This is
me. Thank
different.
you. Deductions.
I'm anxious. I'm excited.
I thought maybe I pronounced it.
No.
Anyway, Randy, yeah, please come up and then, I don't know if he wants to start or you, Becky.
Go ahead. Well, Randy and I, as well as the architect, Scandroli, Amanda, we've all been working on finding as many deductions as possible. As you know, you approved the contract higher than we were comfortable spending, you were comfortable spending. I was not comfortable spending either. So we've been working on ways to save some money on this project. And this is the list as it stands today. So Randy will explain it.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Randy Darnell for CCS. The list of items that you have in your packet are the result of a comprehensive value engineering process by the project team, resulting in over $200,000 of deductions to the contract. Many of these items are viable substitutions in lieu of deletions as not to compromise the integrity of the design and the program requirements. While the architect and engineers have not fully completed the technical review of a few of the larger items, HVAC, electrical, there's one permitting issue. We'll have a confirmed dollar amount next week. But what I can assure you is that the value of those deducts will not be less than $150,000 and likely north of $200,000. This list, just as a reminder, this list does not include the removal of the multipurpose room, which is an additional $250,000 if you chose to do that as well. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Yes, Mr. Wiltie.
Yeah, I was trying to boot this up and I'm not getting it. This on the health,
Pardon me?
the cuts on the health thing. What's about the roof revision, or am I ahead of myself? Like item 3 or 4 on that list? Were there was something that was going to be.
Oh, the vapor barrier
Yes.
under the roof. After we looked into the product that they were using, there was already a vapor barrier as part of the roof system, so it was a duplicate.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other, yes, Chairman Johnson.
Thanks, Randy. Just for clarification, I know item 16 talks about alternate 6. Alternate 6 is the multipurpose room.
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to.
Yeah, that was if we were going to consider the VE items 16, we weren't able to do that if we were going to exercise alternate number 6, because we'd be doubling the cost at that point. Something that's already removed.
Mhm.
Yes.
So yeah, that brings up another question. So for clarification, Randy, you're saying these items have already been?
We're not considering those at this point. We're leaving the multipurpose room
Sure.
as designed at this point. But if we were to take the $250,000 deduct for removing that room, we can't also take item number 16.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Thank you for that clarification. We're not discussing that. So, or that, it's not in these numbers here. So is there any other questions for Randy or for Becky on these? Anyone? On these deductions? Yes, again.
So that, if I remember right, this puts us down right at 4 million or just under 4 million?
Under 4 million.
Under 4 million.
Yes.
I think that's excellent work. Appreciate all the hard work and effort that everybody's put in on this. I think it's a great job. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then this will move forward to the county board for a vote once we kind of finalize some things here.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, by the next week, we'll refine that list, get a final number so that by the 31st, you'll have a number to vote on.
Very good.
Okay.
Any further questions? Randy? Okay, thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Good job. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Randy.
All righty. Excuse me, close off some tabs here. Okay, item 7.2. Again, this one is for discussion only the IGA between Boone County and the city of Belvedere for information technology services. So Ms. Tobin, do you want to report on that?
The city and the county entered into an intergovernmental agreement for IT services 5 years ago. It was June of 2020. All of the IT staff that we have as part of this IGA are county employees. We have 3 of them. The city signed that agreement. Part of that agreement, financial responsibility was 50% of the average IT employee, not including the director. So as of right now, it's right around 61,000 that the city is paying for IT services from the county. This does not include, they also pay for half of an employee, half of an IT person as part of their PSB budget. So they are paying for additional IT services. So this is a separate agreement. That agreement expired. I've met with Lieutenant Smythe, our IT director, Joel Shaden. We've talked to the sheriff, our state's attorney, and reviewed what we think was an appropriate dollar amount for this service. I think everybody had agreed that IT does spend a lot of time at the city. The last contract really only addressed the salary of a person, the benefits. It didn't address all the other stuff, all the behind the scenes work on the systems, managing those systems, managing the staff, housing the staff. All those things really weren't taken into account with that last contract. So this time we thought it was more appropriate to focus on one number rather than a part of a person. So that's how we came up with the 120,000. That was a number that staff was comfortable with. Obviously, before doing anything or taking it to the city, we want your approval or your input if you want anything changed. So that's why we're here to discuss it.
Okay, well, thank you, Ms. Tobin. Yeah, I had kind of written down about, I think the fact that, you've taken into account time and people and the equipment. Would Lieutenant Smythe, would you like to speak, please?
I can answer any questions you guys may have, or maybe how we came up with this number, or whether you guys think that it's an appropriate number.
Yeah, if you don't mind, step up the mic and state your name and.
Sure. Lieutenant Kevin Smythe. A couple of ways we kind of came up with this number. Number one, Joel Shadden and I had been having discussions about this IGA for the last several years. Basically because we feel the city is getting a fantastic deal for what they were paying. Knowing what it would cost to have an IT department or to outsource an IT department and knowing what they were paying, we knew we needed to address this when the contract came up. So if you just look at what they were paying to what we're asking them to pay now, if you just look at that in a vacuum, it does look like it's a substantial increase. This is really just bringing them in line with what we are charging other entities. Say for example, the 911 board, we also have a separate contract to charge them for IT services. This number is much closer to that, still under what we are charging, but brings them much more in line to what they're paying for IT services.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lieutenant, you just said that. So this number is less than what we charge 911?
Well, because of the way that it's written, going back to or referring to what Becky was saying, that the contracts were usually written where they pay the cost of an employee or a percentage of the cost of an employee. So that's how that contract is written. They're paying for the salary of one employee. And if you I don't know what the exact number is, but if you take that salary and add in all of the costs of the benefits, yes, I believe that this number is a little bit lower than that, but very much in line with.
Okay.
And then the other way we kind of came up with this number is if you just look at it, if a company were to start budgeting for outsourcing an IT service or creating their own IT department, you're usually going to use numbers anywhere between $50 to $450 per month per employee, just depending on the type and quality of services that you're looking for. I'm not exactly sure, but roughly 100 employees for the city. So if we want to use, like, for easy math, $100 per employee per month, 100 times 100 times 12, you're looking at $120,000. So this is a number that we really think is fair for both. neither side is being, for lack of a better word, ripped off. And I think both sides can be happy with this number.
Yes. Mr. Riley?
Thank you. Just a couple of questions I've got jotted down here. And I don't know if Kevin, Lieutenant, if you can answer this, or maybe Becky can. We've been in this contract since 2020. Was that before or after the city was held ransom with their IT department?
That was right after. They helped, we actually, I say we, when I was at the city at the time, yes. And the city was actually charged separately by the county because this county IT came in and helped clean all that up. And there was a bill that the county did pay for that service.
And I think that was the reason for
Yes.
entering into this.
That's what I thought. Do you have any idea what did that cost them to get out of that? Did they have to pay a ransom or did they get out of that?
No, we did not pay the ransom.
All right. But I assume our services took care of it for them then, right? That we got them out of it?
I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm sorry, that's all right, Kevin. I assume our services, we got them out of that then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of the situation that they were in. All right. As we go along a little farther, I've got some other ideas. But I'll just put it out. As I was reading this is, again, I'm sure Kevin, Lieutenant Smythe's been working on this longer than when I was looking at this last year as to when this contract was going to be up, and had many discussions with the administrator about it. It's a sweet deal, no doubt. When I was looking at these amendments to the agreement for the possibility of how we're going to do this next year, as I was reading it, I thought it was the 60,000 that we were charging them now plus this 120. And I didn't think that was too bad. Then I read it a little closer and I guess we're just at 120. So I don't know what it would cost them to start up their own IT and equipment and everything else. And but I think that's what I would be more for, would be somewhere in the area of 180 to 200 and a contract no more than 2 or 3 years. No more than 2 or 3 years. So
Okay, thank you.
that's all I got.
Thank you. Mr. Wiltsey, please go ahead.
Yeah, I had a bunch of questions on the contract until I realized it was a 2020 contract. So one thing, however, that I saw that I still am interested in is 8D as in dog, 4-year assumed depreciation on the hardware. Isn't that pretty long for electronic stuff nowadays? Depreciation. And this is the 2020 contract now.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Becky?
I don't know. I was wondering if Josh knows.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Shoemaker, please.
I can answer that. 4 years is pretty standard for depreciation.
Oh, is it?
A lot of companies do 3 years. But 4 years and 5 years it's right in the same range.
Thank you.
So Mr. Shoemaker, I'm glad you spoke up because this is the benefit of us all coming from different walks of life and different experiences. This is your wheelhouse. And I would love to hear your comments on what you agreements and how they work and costs.
My thoughts go to questions of, are we housing all of their data? Do you know?
They do have some infrastructure at City Hall. We still monitor it. We do house a good majority of their data at our public safety building as well.
And do we charge them for that, or is that just included in this cost?
That's kind of what we're trying to include in that, yes. But the problem is a lot of it is shared among several different entities.
My inclination then would probably be to agree with Mr. Riley and say this is not quite to where we need to be. We probably need to be a little higher if we're going to be, storing their data, being responsible for that type of security. And, because as we know, any breach for that, we would be responsible for that. So I would like to see this a little higher.
Fair enough. Mr. Wiltsey.
The old contract talks about the confidentiality of the agreement, data separation and stuff like that. But I understand what you're saying. So maybe we need to look into that a little bit in terms of our costs.
Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. I would agree with Mr. Riley that certainly 2 or 3 year contract. Let's see how this goes. And I would yield to experts like Josh that know this kind of stuff. This is so far out of my realm that I don't know what it costs to do anything IT other than a lot. It's tough to put that in the contract. You owe a lot.
Mr. Shoemaker.
Do we have any statistics on how much time they use our employees versus, is any of that tracked?
The problem with the way that we track everything now with our ticketing system is unfortunately not everything is done through our ticketing system. So if they need services or help with something, yes, you're supposed to put in an IT ticket and it's tracked that way. Do things happen that way in the real world? No. You pick up the phone, you send an email, or the next time IT is out, they're there for one thing, but they get stuck doing 2 or 3 other things. So unfortunately, no. We don't have everything tracked. With what we do track, are they pretty much in line with everyone else within all the other entities that we serve? Absolutely. So they are not like, we're barely spending any time with them. We work with the city just as much as we work with any other departments.
I was gonna say, I didn't,
Go ahead.
sorry, I didn't bring or attach it to here, but did the reports that Joe ran, like you said, it doesn't have everything in there, but besides the health department, the city was the next highest user. Granted, that's all the.
But yeah, I guess when you look at the chart, everything is
Yeah.
for one, yeah.
Yeah, except for PSB, all the city departments were in that number. Actually, they were broken out. I think fire was by itself and maybe public works
Yeah.
was by itself.
Yeah, that's why you kind of add that.
Yeah,
Add that in.
that was the next highest user compared to all the other departments.
But that's why I say it should really be in line with the cost that everybody else is sharing.
I guess I don't want to leave anybody out here, and I think we've got legal representation online here. Is the state's attorney, assistant state's attorney, would you like to speak or comment on the information anything you have to share?
Hi, this is Carla. We reviewed the contract. I guess we don't have any input when it comes to the value, but we're fine with the form of the agreement.
Okay. And understand, like I said, remind everybody, it's a discussion tonight. These are all good input for them to get this contract crafted or drafted the way we want it. And I think there's, as she's got it, this is obviously what we call it First Amendment, and because there's maybe the section 7 here around compensation, A, B, C, and D. And then there's also some things I think that to Mr. Wiltsey's point about the contract being older, that there's probably some things, language and stuff that we will address as well. But along with that, Mr. Wiltsey, did you have a comment you want?
Yeah, yes, thank you. The other issue I had that I think is addressed by the First Amendment, one of the employees is considered their employee, but it's really our employee. Does the $120,000 adequately address the pension costs that we have for that employee? And that's what key to me.
And I think that's a good question. Maybe that's where I was leading, but that's where I was going with that. And Becky, Ms. Tobin, I'll let you address that. I think that was kind of something that we need to make that a little more detailed.
Right. So as of right now, yes, and it would continue that does include pension and health insurance. So right now that number is broken down when it's sent to the city to include those figures. That's part of that 61,000 that they're paying. It includes health, but what it doesn't include is that liability and that ongoing liability for the pension. The city doesn't have to brunt the pension when this person retires.
Is that covered in the 120,000?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's essentially, like, again, when we all came up with that, the way that we looked at it is essentially they're paying for one employee with the cost of salary and benefits. That is very close to what one of our IT techs make, not the supervisor.
Covers the pension.
Including their pension, yes.
Now, if this is an IMRF pension or,
IMRF.
Yeah, and all other benefits as well, yeah.
Thank you.
And go ahead, Mr.
I
Johnson.
think Mr. Thornberry was first.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thornberry.
We're comparable for the storage stuff, right?
I'm sorry, could
We're
you,
responsible for anything we store.
is that a question for you? Lieutenant?
Data wise, you mean?
Either one,
Yeah.
whoever knows where the storage is.
Would be our insurance.
Storage is just on our server.
Not just, no, like I said, they do have some servers and whatnot out at City Hall, but again, we also do maintain those as well.
And what I'm getting at is, I don't
Not
know,
housed on site, but we are still monitoring and maintaining them.
because I know used to, you had to have on-site and off-site storage.
Correct. That's maintained, and I can a little bit answer some of those questions. We do provide within our cybersecurity that we provide services here at the county level and to the municipality is encrypting and providing it on-site, off-site storage as we're required to make sure that data is encrypted and to have server backup that we need to provide. Also in relations as it goes to what IT has performed for the municipality. I mean, you're dealing with procurement, you're dealing with networking, administration, the procurement of a whole bunch of different services for equipment, customer support, tech, and so your day-to-day calls, equipment's not working right. I need someone to check this out. And the amount of calls that come in through. In relations to the ticket numbers, you can easily, there are numbers that you get ticket wise, they're usually deflated by about 25, 33%. Josh could probably allude to that fact right there, as you're easily going to their increase based on 3 people usually putting something in within person. So by that point there, we do provide about 6 additional services that we do for the municipality and the county wide. It's just usually encrypted as part of our, if you want to call it, a bundle of county-wide IT service as part of our cybersecurity insurance.
I know they used to require that because if something happened to on-site, you always had off-site that you could back up from.
Well, thank you, Aaron, for that additional detail. Mr. Shoemaker, I'll go to you. I mean, that was a good comment about data.
So I hear what Marion's saying, and my question actually revolves around, so you're comparing us to like 911. Do we do the same thing with theirs? Do they have servers and
Yes.
stuff with us also? Okay. That's what I wanted to know. So all those departments are basically using the same type of service.
Correct. Yeah.
Mr. Johnson.
One other thing I see on this agreement, the way it's written, this basically doesn't take effect until May of 2026. I would just soon see that take effect this year, starting,
Budget. Yep.
yeah. Starting in October, I think May and October is when these payments are due. I think October.
I think the reason that we did that is because we literally just billed them for the last installment, correct? Like
In May.
in May, yeah.
Okay, so that was the May payment, right? So this would be a new payment beginning in October, so
Overpayment.
Under the
the
addendum.
new agreement should
Yeah.
take effect starting October, I would think.
Am I missing it? When does the contract expire?
It technically expired last month.
Okay.
So here we go,
Starting there we go. Yeah.
start in October. Absolutely.
That seemed to be the consensus of the board. Seeing a lot of hands nodding here. Yeah.
And if it needs to be added to the addendum, then we should make it clear that it kicks in October. Good call, Mr. Chairman.
Did you have any thoughts behind that, Becky? I mean, obviously you were part of the crafting this.
Right.
Thoughts there?
Well, I mean, I was trying to, for budgeting purposes, but also the CPI. So we would probably have to change. If we made the first payment in October, maybe we don't do a change, or I guess we would change the CPI then in May of 2026. Or we may, okay.
Sure.
Just edit that language out. Mr. Johnson.
If I could ask Mr. Shoemaker a question, regarding the pricing at the 120,000, hearing what you've heard with the storage and whatnot. Do you think that's a reasonable number? Do you think it's still way too low? Or do you need more information? And if you need more information, would you be willing to get with staff and try and figure that out a little bit with your expertise?
Yeah, I would definitely want more information. My initial reaction is it's a little low, but it's in the ballpark.
Yeah. So it's not horrible, but
And that's kind of how I felt too. It's within range, but I think it's still possibly on that lower end, just like when I use the example of the anywhere from $50 to $450. I use the lower end to come up with that number, but.
Okay.
Mr. Schneider, I can see you're on, join in here.
The only concern I've got really is that if the Belvedere side was to get hacked, we're responsible for that then, correct? We'd be liable for any
I guess that's.
damages or whatever, whatever they got into. We're basically liable, correct? So I'm just saying, I think Mr. Riley's number would be way more in line. Wouldn't you think so, Josh?
Mhm.
I mean, if we're gonna have to take that kind of responsibility, there ought to be.
I guess that sounds like a legal question. I would defer to our legal counsel if they are still on the line here. Ms. Magrum?
I'm still here. I mean, certainly, it probably depends on, it probably depends on a lot of different things. I think we certainly could have liability in some situations for that sort of thing. Yes.
We need to hold it harmless then.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I heard the question. I'd have to think about that. The problem is there usually you do a hold harmless.
Or a limitation of liability or something.
Maybe. I'd have to think about it because they're the county's employees. I don't know that the city would be willing to sign a hold harmless for actions that our employees are taking. I'd have to ponder that a little bit.
Ms. Tolman?
We could add a section, in the event that something like that happens and it exceeds a certain number of hours that we bill at a separate rate, kind of like county billed the first time it happened, separate rate over a certain amount of hours or something like that.
Mm.
I would like to have some language into that. You have a thought?
In regards to liability?
Yeah.
I guess when I look at it, the liability to me is a lot of times when we do have these hacking situations, it's not necessarily a loss other than, I guess, equipment, data, things like that. Thinking in terms of financial liability, it's more about, I guess, building the systems back up and replacing them. If there's equipment that was damaged, just like we have in there, the city is going to be purchasing that equipment. Or depending on if it was a shared system, they're going to be paying for that cost. I think the liability would be just like you guys started, I think we're getting at with the billing. It's going to take time from our employees to work on that.
That's fair. Yes, Mr. Thornberry.
Okay, to answer your question, I've been through this once with the company I work for. You are capable, you're going to be responsible for anything that's stored. You can't retrieve it, you're responsible for it. But if you can retrieve it, there's no responsibility. Now, if there's equipment damage, that's a whole different story. You're still going to be responsible. I don't know if our contract would hold us responsible for the equipment being damaged, but not being able to retrieve the information. Yes, you're going to be responsible for that. Equipment wise, I don't know. That don't have to be something you put in the contract.
Okay, Mr. Riley, go ahead.
One other question that I had, it just came to mind because I got caught up in it last week or week before. I think I texted or emailed or texted Becky. Who provides our cyber safety training? I mean, do our IT guys handle that or do they farm that out? Or because that's another cost in making
Training itself. So the cybersecurity training is, or just IT is the one who kind of manages that. What they do for the city, I'm assuming they do the same thing.
we don't do it for them.
They do, IT manages the campaigns for the cybersecurity training awareness. They utilize a platform, KnowBe4. That is.
And that's for the city. They do that for the city as well.
They
Okay. I
have a
just
city
didn't,
that's under that umbrella as well as county employees,
Who pays for that all?
county. And it was last procured as a grant with conjunction with the clerk's office and IT.
That covers the
It's
city.
a cost. Okay.
But that is set to expire, I want to say in September.
Thank you, Aaron. Mr. Shoemaker, please go ahead.
So I know the platform known before. It's well worth the money. They should definitely utilize that. About Marion's comment of data retrieval, a lot of things are stored on the cloud. I'm assuming that we do have a cloud backup. So that really kind of takes care of that issue. We should always be able to access that. So.
Thank you. I want to get everybody involved here. Ms. Patterson, did you have something online? I didn't see you raise your hand, but I've lost you on the screen here.
She's still here.
Matt's got a question, Tom. When you get a chance.
At least I just wanted to give her a minute to respond if she had something there.
Me?
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Patterson. I just wanted to get you here. Mr. Regano?
No, I just had a question. You know, we're talking about who's responsible for the storage cyber stuff. If the city, their stuff is lost, you know, we cover all the stuff. The county covers all the costs for all the cyber stuff. I mean, what does the city pay out of all this? I mean, it should be 50-50.
Well, I think that's what we're trying to discuss here is in terms of trying to assess the fair market value of the services that we are providing to the city. Is that am I correct?
I think that's the best way to put it. Fair market value. No way we're going to be able to track every bit of information or data that is coming through, going in, that's being managed. It's got to be a fair market value. If you want to sit here, I mean, you're going to be here for weeks and months trying to figure out exactly what you're going to be.
Leave it to the professionals, you know, I mean, if it's 160 or 180, I would say leave it at that.
Yeah.
And if that's what the cost is, leave it at that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Regano. Ms. Tobin, did you have your hand up there?
I was just going to say that there are a lot of things that we do bill them 50-50 for, and they do pay. I mean, when it comes to IT for any of the software or the email server, all that stuff.
Read through that contract. If there's a server that we know both city and county use, when we go to purchase that server, it's not purchased by the county. It's typically a shared expense. We do have a lot of things like that are kind of already, and if you read through that contract, when we make those purchases, that is already built in. So it's not like this is the only thing that they are paying for.
Good with that.
Mr. Johnson, please.
I guess we've got a couple of weeks before the board meeting. I would really recommend the October 2025 on this contract. Say a 3-year contract. We decide we'd rather have a 2 than do a 2, but change it at least to a 3. And then I'd ask Mr. Shoemaker to maybe get with staff and just evaluate the best you can a little bit and make recommendations if you think we're getting a short end of the stick and from the information you gather and a little bit, if you're willing to do that.
Sure.
And then we can make a final decision on the board meeting.
On July 31st.
Yes.
That's a good
Of
call.
a total.
We do have 2 weeks till we skip the note.
Yeah.
Calling that out, forgot about that. Go ahead, Mr. Thornberry.
Becky, you worked on both ends of the stick here. Do you think the city would go with 180?
I don't know. I mean, we've talked about what it would cost for them to have their own person and their own department. It would definitely cost more than 120. I'd say it would definitely cost more than 180.
And you need more than one person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just asked that because I know you worked in the finance department over there.
Maybe somewhere in the middle.
That's years ago.
Okay, well, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Thornberry. Mr. Corder, did you have anything? Nothing? I don't know if this is a fair analogy, but obviously, you know, it's the city of Belvedere is part of Boone County. We remind ourselves of that all the time, right? We get reminded of that, and we you know, it's big brother want to take care of I don't know, younger sibling, little sister, how and then sometimes they, you know, they kick in the knee or pull your hair, but you're your big brother, right? You want to take care of them. So I think we want to be fair, like I said, fair. I use the word fair market value and equitable on this, and so I think we're kind of in the ballpark here, and those are kind of my comments. Does anybody else have anything else to add for the discussion? All right, move on. Mr. Smythe, anything?
No, just if any individuals have any questions in between now and over the next couple of weeks while you guys are discussing this or trying to come up with anything, feel free to reach out to me at the office. And if I don't know the answer, or if you have any more specific questions about the IT department, I'll reach out to Joe, but I'll make sure to try and get the answer for you or help you out with everything you need.
Thank you very much for your time and coming tonight.
Oh, my pleasure.
Share this. Appreciate that. For discussion. So, seeing no further, we will, everybody good? Okay, we're going to move on to,
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
7.3. If I could get a motion to approve a 60-month FMV lease for 7 copiers from Marco Technology as presented.
So moved.
And moved by Mr. Wiltsey and seconded by Mr. Riley. Thank you. All right. Discussion. Aaron, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, this is what I put up on board docs. I'm not going to read through the whole entire memo verbatim, as all of you can look at it. Just to sum up, we had 2 contracts that we had with Gordon Flesh that were set to expire back in May. We're already past the contract. We're paying kind of an overage based off of usage, which is pretty standard, common practice. We've had an agreement in place. 7R machines that have expired. We went out to Marco and Gordon Flesh to get an idea of how much that would cost. Marco's monthly was cheaper than Gordon Flesh by about $200, $300, $315, some change. It was where the service and supplies, which goes into your black and white and your color printing and other types of additional services that comes in, where it made the most economical sense to go with Marco versus Gordon Flesh. We've had experience working with both Marco in the past and Gordon Flesh as it stands currently. We worked with their vendors at different times, but in terms of economics, you're looking at a $700 monthly savings with Marco. And the rates per print, if we have overage on our monthly usage, it is cheaper with Marco just by, I don't want to get into the details of it, but it's much cheaper. So
you're looking at roughly, mentioned a $700 per month savings plus whatever you make up for some of the rates per print, little less cost there. So it's hard to.
Correct, with the additional cost for copy charges under services.
A little less all the way around. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. Aaron, in my experience, cheaper isn't always better. Any concerns that Marco cannot perform and give us machines that perform correctly?
I have looked at the machines. I actually did some research as, like you said, what are you trading? As Gordon Flesh, what they would provided us was going to be Canon copiers. Marco, they were providing Sharps, and they were able to find comparable models that fit the current needs that we have, that Canons were able to provide with an easy to use interface that people within the county can utilize with efficiency. There's pull-out keyboards, so if there's anything that needs to be typed in, as we still do have fax options on these machines, as well as accommodating to certain demands of certain departments. Sheriff's Department needs a larger tray, as well as evaluating our certain features that come with them. So looking at it, I believe the Sharps will be efficient for departmental needs.
Okay.
I think that's a fair comment or question, because right, I mean, there's user friendliness and those types of things when you come to that realm, and reliability, and we done our due diligence on that, comparing the 2 brands and usability.
And
Ms. Tobin, go
I
ahead.
think customer service is really high on everybody's list, and we feel like we will get better customer service through Marco than we currently do through Gordon Flesh.
And understanding, we still have some contracts with the other company, so this would be a good comparison, I guess, right?
Correct. This will allow us to give a benchmark in terms of customer service, speed of reply, and having a downright bottom line comparison of the Sharp versus Canon, if there is any of those benchmarks that we're not seeing right now. From people that I have talked with that have utilized Marco using the Sharp copiers, as I looked at other jurisdictions nearby, they like Sharps. They like the user interface more than Canon as it integrates with Microsoft products on a little bit easier to use basis. I mean, a lot of things come down to preference, but I believe it'll hit the needs for a lot of our employees.
And for the record, I read the motion 6 months of this 5-year contract that we would be entering into with Marco. Is that correct? So,
It'd be a 5-year for the 7 of these copiers, and it'd be replacing the ones in the building, 2 in the circuit clerk's office, public defenders, state's attorney, I'm missing, and the 17th circuit.
Mr. Shoemaker, any experience on copiers? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've actually used both Sharp and Canon, and they're very comparable. I haven't noticed a really difference. My question comes more, are we using their support desk option, or is that just something extra that we weren't pursuing?
It's an extra option. I'll let Becky kind of.
I don't think we need it right now. I don't think, if we come to the point where we think we need it, we can always add it. But I don't want to pay for something we're not going to use.
So it is an option to be an add-on service if needed.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so just a quick, are we good? Any further discussions? Yeah, Mr. Thornberry.
I'm familiar with I think 3 different organizations that I'm familiar with that have switched from whoever they were using before and went to Marco. The problem isn't going to be your machines, because it's like he said, they're both comparable. The reason most people are switching to Marco is customer service and their maintenance program.
Right. They're broke. We want to fix them and fix them now.
Correct. You can get on the phone with them as the representative that we have with Marco. He was originally affiliated with the other company, and he's very high speed of getting back to you within the next day.
Excellent to hear. Okay. If any further discussion? Okay.
Do it.
All right. Well, proceeding then, all those in favor of moving this to the county board, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Okay, moving on to 7.4, motion to approve application of reclamite to Cherry Valley Road by Corrective Asphalt Materials LLC in the amount of $51,532.80. If I could get a motion. Motion by Mr. Schneider, seconded. Mr. Wiltsey. All right, discussion. Do we have Mr. Crone on the line?
Let me check.
Justin?
Yes, he is on.
Go ahead, Justin, please.
So this is related to what I talked about earlier this year with trying to focus more on maintenance and less on resurfacing. So we're going to try to get our surfaces to last longer, especially now that we're down to one primary bidder. As you recall, on our resurfacing this year, we had 2 contracts and we only received 1 bidder on each one of the contracts, same bidder. So, having that reduction in competition is causing the price to go up, and we're at a point where our road structure is in real good shape. So we just have to maintain the surface. We don't really have to build up any more structure on our roadways. So we're looking at different ways to try to maintain the surface without having to add additional asphalt. This is one method that McHenry County, DeKalb County, and a lot of the collar counties use to reclimate. It's kind of rejuvenator on the surface. I haven't done it in the past because it really hasn't made financial sense, but I think we're getting to the point where it's going to start making sense for us to start doing that. So I do recommend, so I did not bid it out this year. I didn't find out the competition for resurfacing until kind of later in the year. And once, once I confirm that we only have 1 bidder, most likely going forward for at least the next few years, I reached out to some of the neighboring counties and did some research, and I think that this is the best way to try to preserve our asphalt surfaces at a lower cost than resurfacing them with asphalt. So I do recommend trying this. This bid that you have in front of us is from DeKalb County. The low bidder has agreed to do Cherry Valley Road. It would just be one lane as a test strip. So we'd have one lane that is treated, one lane that's not, and they would do a test strip from us from DeKalb County all the way up to Cherry Valley at the same unit price that they bid DeKalb County's projects on. So I'm available for any questions.
And Justin, so thank you. How many, trying to figure out, you got square footage per yards, how many miles are we talking here then, that distance you described?
It's about 6 miles.
About 6 miles. Okay. And I guess I'm reading your DeKalb, is that, so is the actual cost of 51,532?
That is the actual cost for doing one lane all the way from Cherry Valley to DeKalb County.
For 6 miles?
Yes.
Cheap. Okay.
It doesn't it goes on a kind of a tan color, and then it cures clear. So it's not going to take out imperfections. It's not going to seal cracks. What it's going to do is what happens when asphalt gets old and it's out in the sun and the elements and through multiple seasons, it starts to lose the bituminous material, the oils, and then you expose your aggregate, and then the rock or the aggregate loosens and it falls away from the asphalt, unbinds from the asphalt, and that's when you get potholes or cracks and that sort of thing. So what it does is it rejuvenates that asphalt, and and there's some chemistry behind it that honestly I don't really fully understand, but it prolongs the life of that glue in the asphalt on the surface, and that's the thing that breaks down the quickest. And the expected additional life is anywhere. The research I saw, it's anywhere from 2 to 7 years. So if you get the 2 years based on the unit price and the cycle that we resurface and the prices that we're looking at, it would be a payoff. It would be a payback. So I think it's definitely worth at least trying a one pass or one lane, and then we'll have a good comparison. One lane will have it done, one won't, and then hopefully within 2 to 3 years from now, we'll see if it makes a difference. And if it does, then maybe that's something we start doing as well as some of the other counties.
Okay, excellent, Justin. Sounds good. Any further questions, Mr. Wilsey?
Yeah, just not for tonight, Justin, but I'd like to know whether this would apply to a Candlewick. We get Bell Rock is usually our low bidder. We'll talk maybe next week or so, and I can ask you some questions. Thank you.
I'd be happy to. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Wilsey. See no further. Mr. Cordray.
Yeah, and I'm assuming these are on roads that are already structurally sound on the subbase, right? We haven't seen breakups or potholing.
That's absolutely true. We the last time this road was repaved, we got up to a 80,000 pound road. So this is now it's got full structure. We don't have any structural failures under the roadway. So it's just the only thing that we really have to worry about is just the surface, maintaining the surface of the road. There's very few, if any, structural issues.
Yeah, I'm semi-familiar with the product. That's why I asked the question for everybody to realize that it's not going to fix potholes or soft spots like you see in the spring. It's got to be but it is a good rejuvenator for the current asphalt. Like I said, the bituminous product eventually goes away through the sun, UV and everything. And this kind of rejuvenates that, brings life back to it.
Yeah, Mr. Cordray. So as of 2019, all the county roads are now 80,000 pound roads. So essentially, we do have some that are a little bit weaker than others, but all of our roads are now all season, all weather, 80,000 pound roads. We just achieved that 6 years ago, and we do have some roads that are a little like Woodstock Road has some areas that are weaker than many of our other ones, but Cherry Valley is one that I would expect this rejuvenator. And I had the contractor the low bid contractor look at it, and typically they will identify if their product's gonna work or not in those situations, and they're gonna be happy to, or they are happy to do a test or pilot study with one lane on this road to show that it does what they say it will do.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
it's just it's a liquid that goes on. So like Mr. Cordray said, it doesn't fill anything. It doesn't fill cracks. It doesn't fill potholes, or it doesn't add any strength. It just maintains that surface.
Okay. Thank you, Justin, for that, all that information. Not seeing any further discussion, all those in favor of moving this to the county board, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, 7.5, we've got the fiscal year 2024 audit draft. Ms. Tobin, would you like to
Sure.
talk through this, please?
I just got it this afternoon at about 3 o'clock, and it is a draft. So I won't really go into anything. I haven't had a chance to look at it very much, but if you enjoy audits, you're welcome to peruse through it. Our goal is to have the final draft for you at county board on the 31st.
Thank you, Ms. Tobin. Yes, it is online in 161 pages. If anyone would like to need some reading material there.
Oh, wonderful. And that's, he just said it at night.
All right, any other comments? Good with that? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Tobin, for that. All right. So the next three items, I'll go through. We're going to go through those independently, 7.6, 7.7, 7.8. But keep in mind, this is a COLA. We'll discuss this. So if I could get I want to say COLA adjustment. So a motion to approve resolution 2523, state's attorney salary COLA effective July 1st of 2025. So moved by Mr. Wiltsey, seconded by Mr. Schneider. Discussion. Would you like to take this one again, Ms. Tobin?
I can. These salaries are set by state statute. So this is kind of just a formality to go through with these resolutions. You'll notice the state's attorney's salary, however, the county is only on the hook for about 21,000 of it. It's based on what the salary was in 1988, something like that. So any other increases are actually paid for by the state, not the county.
Okay. Did you have any further comment, Aaron?
No, I was just saying, in the memo, it shows what the share is of the state's portion versus the county's share, as well as showing what that fiscal impact is out of the county's pocket due to those increases based on the adjustment of 6.1%.
Very good. Thank you, Aaron. See no further discussion. I guess we'll, all those in favor of move this kind of board, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. All right, same thing for 7.7, if my notes are up to date here. Yes, 7.7. If I get a motion to approve resolution 2524, public defender salary COLA effective July 1st, 2025. Moved by Mr. Johnson, seconded by Mr. Cordray. Any discussion? Same story, Becky? Any further comments?
Well, it's a little bit different. Your public defender and your sheriff, your public defender has 50% of your state's attorney salary, and then the sheriff has to be 80% of the state's attorney salary, and the state pays 66.6%, and then the county pays the 33.3%.
2/3 and 1/3.
Yep.
Again, same COLA adjustment that is set forth by the state statute. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. All right, next is 7.8. Motion to approve resolution 2525, the sheriff salary COLA effective July 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Motion by moved by Mr. Riley, seconded by Mr. Schneider. Discussion on the sheriff.
Well,
That was not an open. Sorry about that. Any discussion on this? No. Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you. Motion passes. All right, number 8, any old business that come before us here tonight? Anybody have anything? Old business? Okay, any intergovernmental reports or updates, Chairman? Informational items, should we go through this here? Correspondence? UCCI? Yes, go ahead.
Just one thing, just a reminder to board members, if you're interested in doing the Washington DC trip, get in contact with me, contact with Becky. We get, I mentioned this at the last board meeting, get some money from UCCI to help pay for and defer that cost. We want to keep, 2-3 members to go. That way everybody gets a chance people get a chance to go, but it's paid for pretty much by UCCI. So if you're interested, let me know right now.
When's that date?
Mr. Riley,
To the 18th,
I'm sorry.
September 15th through the 18th.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Riley is planning to attend, so if you're interested, let us know. That's all I got.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Johnson. All right, so do we? Thank you.
I don't think so.
No executive. Okay. Anything else? With word.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion
Second.
to adjourn. Do we have a second? Motion by Mr. Wiltsey, seconded by Mr. Corbett. All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned.
We have to vote.
7:07.
I guess we probably should vote. Anybody want to stay longer? All those in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Oh, Elisa's opposed.
I think she was late. Thank you, Ms. Patterson. So meeting adjourned at 7:06 PM. Thank you.
Sure.
Modified.